Good evening and welcome to the 155th crowning of the Fair Queen. So, without further ado, I will introduce our ladies and the gentlemen who are walking them up. So, first, we have Riley Obrecht, and she is escorted by Corey Obrecht, son of Chuck and Renita. Next, we have Emily Scheckinger. Whoops, little change. Daughter of Chad and Amberly, representing the Harlan FFA. She's escorted by Levi Scheckinger, obviously her brother. Next, we have Lauren Wingert, daughter of Dan and Laura from the Northwest Leaders, escorted by Jacob Wendt, son of Larry and Jill Wendt. Next, we have Brooklyn Buck, daughter of Brian Barrett and Aaron Buck, representing the Shelby Trailblazers, escorted by Grant Peterson, son of Andy and Mary Peterson. Next, we have Addison Obrecht, daughter of Don and Jen, representing the Center Comers, escorted by Harrison Kiergaard, son of Brian and Paula Kiergaard. My escorts this evening were Lane Larson, son of Luke and Christina Larson, and Isaac Roberts, son of Tawny Roberts. All right, I am going to introduce to you where we went. There he is, Lee Sheff, treasurer of the Fair Board, and he will talk to you about some 4-H things. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Lynn. I appreciate it. As Lynn mentioned, welcome to the 155th of the Shelby County Fair. Thank you, everybody, for attending. What an awesome night. You look down the midway there, what a great crowd. Thank you for everybody being here tonight. Again, as Lynn mentioned, my name is Lee Schoaf. I serve as the treasurer of the fair board. I am the third man in line, and I got drawn the card to get up here tonight and do this because we have 2 other individuals that are at softball games tonight, which is a great thing. So congratulations to them. I'm up here for you guys tonight. Bear with me, I apologize. First of all, I want to introduce our fair board. The individuals that we have on our fair board: Darren Goshorn, president, again, as I mentioned, at a softball game tonight. Kyle Manns, vice president, at a softball game tonight. And then, as far as the rest of our board, we have Justin Arnholtz, Holly Christensen, Gabe Hansen, Nick Peterson, Ross Anderson, Troy Arnholtz, Brian Anderson, Brad Knudsen, Darren Peters, Laura Heimerman, Trent Heimerman, Lauren Boutine, Ross Tegeson. The other individual that I have to recognize that, again, she's not here, she's at a volleyball game, and she'd get mad at us for acknowledging her every year, but everybody has to acknowledge Kay Goshorn. She is our board secretary, and if it weren't for Kay, believe me, there are a lot of things around here that would not function very well whatsoever. So whenever you see Kay, please thank her for everything that she does for us, because she's absolutely phenomenal at what she does, and we appreciate everything she does for us. New individual that we've got helping us out this year. If you guys have followed us on Facebook or any other social media process whatsoever, Emerson Reichel has been working with us this year, and she has done an amazing job. We have a number of other fairs that follow us on Facebook, specifically because she is taking care of what we do here. So any of those pictures that you guys see out there on Facebook, anything that's going on around the fair, Emerson is taking care of that. So if she's not around here, please find her and thank her for everything that she's doing, because believe me, it is absolutely awesome. The other, there we go, yes, absolutely. Another individual, well, I shouldn't say individuals. My wife is not here tonight, but believe me, what I want to say is thank you to every spouse or significant other of the fair board members, because believe me, we put in a lot of hours. There's a lot of hours they do not see us, especially this time of year. So if you see any of those spouses or significant others, thank them for allowing us to do what we enjoy, because we have fun doing this. This is a blast. We're going to be up here and allow these young gals to do what they're doing, have fun, and especially these 4-Hers that are out here exhibiting their projects, which is second to none. So thank those spouses. They mean the world to us, and it's all because of them that they allow us to do this. So thank you to them. As many of you know, theme of the fair, rooted in tradition, growing our future. That's a saying that means a lot to a lot of us on the fair board. Rooted in tradition. Let's be honest. I've only been here 12 years. Apple pie morning. Who doesn't think about apple pie morning when it comes to Shelby County Fair? Let's be honest. It's cool. I showed up here, and the amount of people that are sitting underneath that tent. I mean, this is a fun place to be. So thank you to those people. Growing our future. That's where our heart's at. That's what we're doing with this foundation. That's where our belief is at. We believe this place is going to be here for a lot of years to stay. So any of you that have been here for years, it's going to be a lot of fun, and we've got some really big dreams around this place. So that's kind of where our theme came from for this year's fair. I'm going to go on a few other thank yous, and I'm going to try and make this as quick and as simple as possible, and I'm going to wrap it up so you girls can do your thing. So you don't want to hear me talk all night, believe me. As far as some thank yous, grounds crew, you look at the grounds around here tonight. I mean, the grounds are amazing. It's mowed, it's trimmed, it's phenomenal. We've got a phenomenal group of individuals: Cale Goshorn, Drew Blatt, Caden Brook, Jace Goebbels, Hayden Soma, Matthew Sorberman, Nicole Hansen. Thank you to those individuals. I mean, these grounds look absolutely phenomenal. If you haven't noticed, we lost a few trees around here. We tried to put in a few more. It's a little bit of a challenge, let's be honest. At least this year we had a little bit more water than we had last year. So it wasn't as difficult, but let's be honest, it still takes some tender care. If Dale Larson is around here, This is an individual, let me tell you what, he dedicates his time around here, and he is here 24/7 to make sure those trees are here for you guys in the future. So you see Dale, thank Dale. I tell you what, he is very much dedicated to this place and what those trees are going to be in the future. So thank you to Dale. There's a number of places around the edges of the show ring, around the tent out here, all these flowers. Patty Bogler with My Nest Greenhouse. She puts together those every year. I think there might be a few of them that you might still be able to take home. Talk to somebody, approach them, you can take them home, purchase them, that side of things. But she puts those together as a donation to the Fair Board. Thank you very much to Patty. Few new things. So in front of the fair office, as well as in front of Floral Hall, there's some flowers that are going up and around those areas. Thank you very much to our very own Connie Peterson. I apologize if I said Patterson. I apologize. Connie Peterson, our own local master gardener. So thank you very much to Connie. What a phenomenal job those have done, and growing and looking great around the fairgrounds. Again, we cannot say enough about our local county supervisors. They support us, they promote us, they encourage us to do what we're doing in the community. So we can't say enough about them. So thank you very much to Steve Cankle, Bryce Shaven, Charlie Parkers. What they allow us to do here and how much they support us is second to none. It's very much recognized in other counties that these guys support us and they appreciate what we do in Shelby County. Next, sanitation crew. These individuals, let me tell you what, they have a thankless job, let's be honest. So if you guys see these guys in a orange shirt sitting back here at the back of the show ring, let me tell you what, tell those guys thank you. This year we've got Brayton Schechter, Owen Munson, Stephen Linen, Anthony Fields. You know, these guys do anything we ask them to do. They take care of the trash, they clean the bathrooms, they serve burgers. They took care of the burgers last night. Believe me, they washed their hands, they put on some gloves. It's okay, I promise. You know, they set up tables, chairs. Anything we ask them to do, these guys are Johnny on the spot. They take care of everything. So, believe me, if you want to see somebody that works hard, find one of those guys in an orange shirt because they're going to take care of it. Night security. Kenny Holloway, if you see him around, let me tell you what, talk about a guy that puts in some hours, Kenny's going to take care of it. He watches this place every night, and Kenny deserves all the credit. So thank you to Kenny for everything he does. There's a few individuals up here on stage. Katie Monsky, I was going to mess that up. Where'd she go to on me? There we go. I about messed up your last name, I apologize. But no, thank you very much, Katie. Everything you do for coordinating this, what an awesome group. Couldn't say more. Thank you very much, Katie. One of the last couple ones, all the volunteers that help out at the fair. There's a lot of comments prior to this fair starting. You know, it's amazing how much this stuff comes together. It takes a lot of people to make this thing work, and it shouldn't go unnoticed. From anywhere from superintendents to the individuals that are working in the food stand to the individuals that we have helping out in the farm Bureau Ag Pavilion. We can't say enough about these people that volunteer their time, dedicate their service to this community, and make sure that this place runs and functions the way that it should. So anybody that you see volunteering, just please thank them. They deserve it. They absolutely have done a phenomenal job on these grounds, from upkeep to taking care of you guys while you're here during the fair. So thank you to all those volunteers that are countless that I cannot name, so thank you to those people. The last one that I'm going to recognize, and I guess our TV's not going, I apologize. So, but anyway, watch for the banners around this around these fairgrounds. There's banners, there's TVs going with names, with logos, any of that kind of stuff. About 3 years ago, we kicked off a big push for these sponsors to really step up in this community. And let me tell you what, they stepped up. It's phenomenal what this community has done, what Shelby County has done, and how much they've grown this fair. Anything from rebuilding the racetrack to in the baby animals building, you can't count the things and the expenses that have been covered within this fairgrounds that are all part of the donors that support the Shelby County Fair. So if they're not here, make a point to thank those individuals, because believe me, they are what makes this thing function. So thank you to everybody that has ever donated anything to the Shelby County Fair. All right, as I said, I'm going to try and ramble on. I apologize. So as we said, this year's fair, rooted in tradition, growing in our future. A few things that we've done this year. It's been a little bit more of a maintenance year than it has been the past couple of years. Past couple of years, we've done some substantial improvements. We've made some major expenditures. This year, it's been a lot of variety of things that have all kind of come together and compiled. You might notice along the east property line, we put in a permanent fence. If we get any loose livestock, I hope for once they're actually going to stay on the fairgrounds. We don't have to worry about them going into the cornfield. So we might have a little bit of benefit there. We've got a new fence in between the property, or I shouldn't say property line, but in between the racetrack and the fairgrounds. Again, containment for livestock. Let's be honest, livestock gets loose. We got to try and do what we can. But it looks great. It's phenomenal there. We've done a few updates in the fair office. There's been a number of concrete updates around the fairgrounds. I've had a number of comments. If you guys have been in the Bottle Bucket Calf Barn, there's a little bit of updates in that Bottle Bucket Calf Barn. There's some great fencing in that Bottle Bucket Calf Barn. It's not a piece together piece anymore. So a lot of great opportunities, and let's be honest, that Bottle Bucket Calf thing is growing, and it's awesome to see these young kids with these calves out there. We couldn't ask for anything better. One of the last things, if you guys haven't noticed, as I mentioned earlier, we took down a few trees around here. We took down 51 trees on these fairgrounds. We did only put up 28, but it's a work in progress, let's be honest. But 28 trees are a lot of trees to take care of. Dale Larson, watering them. Gary Hopp, he took care of a hole back here that we dumped 51 trees in. He took care of it. Paul Brook, he ground out a lot of tree stumps, let's be honest. It's a daunting task. So thank you to those individuals and the countless other volunteers. The volunteer hours around here have been absolutely awesome. So again, those are the improvements, those are the updates that we've made this year. So thank you to those people. A couple other things. Last year we kind of introduced a foundation for you guys. Focused on a lot of our goals as a fair board as far as what we're doing going forward and what we have for aspirations. Anything from a new baby animals facility over here to a new livestock housing facility that would take care of all of our livestock. A lot of new things that our goals are going forward. Again, focused on the traditions that are Shelby County and are growing for the future. We're still working on that progress. But there's been a few things that have started taking place on that. Anything from the fencing to we've done some new tables and chairs if you're over at the food stand, and lighting at the racetrack, some things that we're getting kicked off with that process. But again, the more we get done there, the faster we can go with this process. So I encourage you, if you have questions about that foundation, ask any one of us fair board members, because it's a great opportunity. We're going to go next. One of the big things, as I said, with Emerson, we are really promoting this social media piece. I'm probably one of those individuals, I'm not up to date on it, let's be honest. I'm behind the curve on this. So anyway, but thank you to Emerson. She just walked in, so please find her. Thank you very much for what she does. If you haven't connected with us, we've got our website updated regularly. We're on social media, we're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. One of the big things that we are working on for next year, we will have an app for the fair next year. So if If you're that smartphone person, you like that app, we can do push notifications. All those types of things. Download the app once we get to that point. So we're pretty excited about some of those potential projects coming in for next year. So one of the big things that we have coming forward is going to be that. The rest of the fair, events going on. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I should say. Obviously, Little Hands on the Farm, Livestock Babies Barn. We also have the Flying Debris Show and Carnival going on. Obviously, again, like I said, a lot of people down the road here, which is great. Antique Tractor Show is going to be Saturday and Sunday. Friday's going to be a big day around here. You'll probably see a lot of individuals in red shirts flying around and being all over the place. But we have a bull ride, concert, and fireworks, and every bit of it is free. And there's a lot of other fairs that commend us for doing that, because that bull ride at any other fair, it is never free, and neither are there gates to get in the fairgrounds. So, again, I reiterate, thank those sponsors, because those are the individuals that make that happen. So it's going to be a big night. It's going to be a fun night. Come down, have a lot of fun, because that's what's going to happen. Saturday morning, baby contest. Again, apple pie morning. You can't find anything better. It's a little bit of something good to eat, let's be honest. In the afternoon, we've got pie and muffin auction, mutton busting at 6 o'clock, and then in the evening is going to be the races. I want to stop a second and commend those guys on what they host the races, because believe me, it's not the fair board that hosts that thing over there. Those individuals that take care of those racetracks, they have done some amazing things in the past couple of years. They're bringing some great things to Shelby County. Tuesday night, if you are around, I encourage you to come down here, because they are going to put on one amazing show. Lucas Oil is coming to town, and I can guarantee you it's going to be a phenomenal show. They have put a lot of effort into this thing, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you have the opportunity on Tuesday night, make sure you're down here at the Shelby County Fairgrounds, because it's going to be a lot of fun. Sunday, church service is going to be provided by the Harlan First Global Methodist Church. We're going to be followed Market Beef Show, Pedal Tractor Pull. And then, as always, on Monday, we're going to have that livestock support auction. That's going to be auctioneered by the Dunlap Livestock Auction. Encourage you guys to come out here and support these kids. These kids put in a lot of work, a lot of effort all year long, and we need to support them and encourage them to continue to come back and do what they do best. From there, I am going to wrap it up. I'm going to go into the Fair Hall of Fame Awards is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to start out, and I'm going to ask that the award winners stay after for a picture. So if you receive an award tonight, stay after for a picture. I might ask you to come up and say a few words if you really want to. So that's up to you. So the first Hall of Famer for 2024 for Shelby County Fair. This Hall of Fame recipient is a Panama native. She grew up on a farm on the Shelby-Harrison County line with her family, including 2 older sisters. She has memories of numerous chores on the farm, including early morning milking of the cows. She's a graduate of the Harlan Community High School, one of the first classes to graduate from the combined school in 1968. After the unexpected passing of her father, she and her mom moved to Harlan. Later on, she and her husband had 3 children. She was very active in their 4-H participation and served as a leader for many years for the Lincoln Bluebirds Club. As she learned from her mom, she encouraged all 3 of her children to learn to sew, even her son, which resulted in a good story about the State Fair qualifying constructed garments. She was a cosmetologist for many years while she raised her children and continued in the years beyond. Her love of fashion and sewing came together when she purchased a women's clothing store in Harlan in 1997. For many years, she helped dress the women of Shelby County and kept them looking sharp and classy. In 2010, she began to serve the Shelby County Fair by interviewing and announcing Fair Queen candidates. If you've ever been at the fair on Thursday night over the past 14 years, you've probably seen her in this capacity. She's a longtime member of the St. Michael's Catholic Church. She has volunteered in many capacities during her time as a member of the parish. She's active in the Catholic Daughters Organization, is a member of the Harlan Review Club, PEO, and many other organizations. Since her retirement, she has found many ways to continue to serve her community. She and her late husband, Ken, are the parents of 3 children and grandparents to 8. Please welcome Lynn Brinker as a 2024 Hall of Fame recipient. We have one other individual tonight for the Hall of Fame. This Hall of Fame recipient was born in Harlan in 1953. He attended Harlan schools, graduated in 1972. During his childhood, he helped his father farm and enjoyed playing sports in school. He was a member of the Douglas Wise Owls 4-H Club from 1960 to 1971. He showed brown Swiss dairy heifers and market hogs at the county fair. When his boys rolled enough to become members of 4-H, he helped them prepare their bottle calves, hogs, and rabbits for show. Before retiring, he worked at farming and was an electrician. He used his electrical knowledge to help complete several projects at the fairgrounds, including the new showroom, food stand, and 4-H building. He served as fair board member for a number of years before serving as president for the Shelby County Fair. He enjoyed working with the many other volunteers who helped make the fair a success. He is a member of the United Methodist Church in Crookman, where he has served on the church board and various church committees, including team captain for 18 years of the church Relay for Life team. He and his wife have 3 children and 6 grandchildren who still enjoy a trip to the fair when they are in town. 12 years ago, this is the first individual that I met for the Shelby County Fair. A lot of you might know him as Thule. Please join me in congratulating Mark Peterson as another recipient of the Shelby County Fair. All right, that's enough of me rambling for the night. I am going to pass this thing on. I heard an applause here in the corner when I said that. So anyway, no, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to invite Jen up here, and we're going to move on with the Iowa 4-H Hall of Fame Award.
Big thank you to the Fair Board. Without their efforts, we would not be able to have all the 4-H events that we have during the fair. And we have great participation and great opportunities for the youth in Shelby County. So a huge thank you to the Shelby County Fair Board and all that they do to support our Shelby County youth. I'm Jen Sellner, and I serve as the County Youth Coordinator here for Shelby County, working with our 4-H program and other school enrichment programs throughout the county. And tonight I have the pleasure of honoring our 2024 4-H Hall of Fame honoree. This individual is a proud Shelby Countyan who has made a huge difference in the community through their involvement through 4-H and leadership. This individual has been an avid 4-H participant since her days with the Douglas Dixies. While in the Douglas Dixies, this recipient served as reporter, secretary, vice president, president, historian, county council, as well as the county historian. Tonight's recipient filled her time with projects spanning many categories. She received awards in leadership, consumer education, clothing, achievement and home environment. She is always up for giving a presentation too, whether talking or demonstrating. In 1977, this individual was recognized as the Shelby County Outstanding 4-H Girl. That same year, she was crowned the Shelby County Fair Queen. This individual helped her fellow club members make their first pie and eventually went on to help her kids make muffins and pies for the local contest each year. Dress review is a passion for this young individual as a 4-H'er, and she eventually became the County Fashion Review Clothing Selection Contest Superintendent. She was able to enjoy many contest participants, including her daughter Liz, for many years. If you ask this individual about the impact that 4-H had on them, I'm not sure they would have words. She's always talked about how important it was to her and her family growing up, but is even more passionate about what it did for her children. This individual truly believes, and we agree, a lot of the success in Rob and Liz's lives has a connection with a 4-H. Just ask her, she'll be happy to share. This individual encouraged her children to seek 4-H opportunities outside of the community, including State 4-H Council, attending in-state and out-of-state 4-H conferences, camp, and eventually working as camp counselor in collegiate 4-H. She introduced her kids to some of their very best friends today, not to mention the skills and connections that they developed. They couldn't have done it without her encouragement and broad knowledge of the opportunities. As a parent, she served as a member of the County 4-H Committee, becoming president for multiple terms. She was also an active project leader for the Center Farmers 4-H Club. In 2007, to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Iowa State University, this individual designed and helped assemble the first 4-H exhibit to be housed in the Shelby County Historical Museum. Today, she volunteers in many ways in Shelby County. Each year, she spends countless hours behind the scenes decorating the County Iowa State Fair static exhibit display and 4-H building to showcase each exhibit. And I encourage you to visit the 4-H building tonight to take a look at the work that this individual has done for this year. While her involvement looks a little different these days than it did during project and record book season, she still enjoys each opportunity to still volunteer and teach. It's hard to find a more exemplary ambassador for the 4-H program than someone who genuinely embodies the 4-H's, head, heart, hands, and health. Not only does she embrace these principles in the past, but continues to dedicate herself to them through her ongoing community involvement. Whether it's using her head to think critically, her heart to empathize with others, her hands to take action, or her focus on health and well-being, this individual exemplifies what it means to be a true 4-H'er. Please help me congratulate the 2024 Iowa 4-H Hall of Fame, Shelly Larson.
That was a shock to receive that award. At least I know how long I've been doing this. Because I honestly couldn't remember when I started. It was when Kelly retired and I started. So anyway. So we're first going to hear from last year's queen, Riley Obrecht. So Riley, if you would come forward. Please tell us about your experience last year at the fair, and then your experience at State Fair, if you would, please.
Hello everyone, my name is Riley Obrecht and I'm the 2023 Shelby County Fair Queen. I just finished my first year at Iowa State University where I majored in agricultural business and minor in animal science. This summer I have a community banking internship at Mid-States Bank. And so way back last July I was crowned the Fair Queen. And so Friday night I tried to, hopefully you guys saw me around the fair, I tried to visit like every event. So I was at the swine show, I went to the bull riding, and I was just, then Saturday was the baby contest, there was the rabbit show, the sheep and goat show. There's just so many events I got to partake in, and it was just so fun to see the fair in a different way and just see, there's just so many events. So I encourage everybody to try something new. And then in August, I headed to the Iowa State Fair to compete in the Queen contest. There was 103 other girls who I competed against, and it was super fun. We got to do different workshops to build leadership skills, and then we got to learn a little bit about model walking, something fancy. And then during the nights, we got to explore the Iowa State Fair, where we got to go down the big slide and walk the Bill O'Reilly show. And it was just an unforgettable week and experience. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next we have, get my cards here in line, Brooklyn Buck, daughter of Aaron Buck and Brian Barrett. She represents the Shelby Trailblazers. She attends AHSTW school. She is involved in FFA, track, NHS, and cheer. She's going to say a few words about FFA, am I correct?
Good evening, everyone. I'm Brooklyn Buck, and I just finished my junior year in Avoca at AHSTW, and I'm very involved in my FFA chapter where I was elected to be president in the fall for my senior year. And FFA has been a big part of my high school career. It's given me a lot of opportunities, and someone who's given me a lot of opportunities within FFA is Jen Selner, also known as Mrs. Selner. She's pushed me out of my comfort zone multiple times, and she's just pushed me harder and harder, knew what I could do, and she's just helped me become the person that I am today, and definitely has helped me get up here on the stage today.
On your application, you talked about helping your sister and a city girl with cattle. Do you want to talk about the city girl?
The city girl is actually my mom's best friend's daughter, Sophie. She's running around here somewhere, I'm assuming. And so she lives in Harlan. She doesn't really get out into the country that much. And my mom's best friend always hears mom complaining about how much work she has to do on the farm. So we decided, me and my little sister, that we had a bucket bottle calf one year and we didn't want to take care of it. So we decided to let Sophie come up and give it a try. And she actually ended up really liking it, and she learned a lot of lessons, that's for sure. And she ended up doing it again this year, so that's really good for her.
All right. On the weekends, you volunteer in Omaha at the Lydia and at the Micah House. Can you talk about that, please?
So a couple Saturdays every month, I head to Carter Lake in Omaha, where there is a Lydia House, is what it's called, and there's a lot of different activities that you can participate in. So their main goal is called Open Door Mission, and their main goal is to help people who suffer from homelessness, addiction, or just low-income families. So I go and I volunteer a couple times a month, and there's so many different things that I can sign up for. So I have watched kids for a couple hours while their parents go and study or go grocery shopping, just need a little bit of time away from their children so they can get things done. I've fed meals to homeless people who just aren't as fortunate as we are every day to get food on their table. And I've also stocked shelves of their grocery store that they have, and it's a really eye-opening experience, and it just really opens your eye to the blessings that we get every single day and things that we might take for granted that other people aren't as fortunate to have.
Thank you. And then, why do you want to be the fair queen?
Today during the parade is a great example of why I want to be Fair Queen, because as we were going in the cars and driving by, all the little girls, all the little kids, boys, girls, everyone, they looked up to me sitting in the car and called me a princess and said that they can't wait to be me one day. And that just is my reason for wanting to be Fair Queen, because when I was growing up, I always wanted to be the girl in the car too, in the pretty dress, in front of everyone, with the pretty everything, and that's just being a role model for everyone around me, because I wouldn't be where I am today without my role model, so that's exactly what I want to be for the younger generation. Thank you.
Next, we have Addison Obrecht. daughter of Don and Jennifer Obrecht. She represents the Center Comers 4-H Club. She attends CHS. She's involved in FFA, National Honor Society, and girls wrestling. Would you like to talk about girls wrestling?
Hello again, my name is Addison Obrecht and I will be a senior at Harlan Community. So I'm going to talk to you guys about girls wrestling, and this is something I could probably talk about for about a week, I'm not going to lie to you. So recently back in March I decided that I was going to go out for wrestling, and this was a big shock to a lot of people. My dad had always pushed me to kind of, I grew up around it. I grew up around my brother wrestling, I grew up around my dad wrestling. I remember days in the shop just watching my brother and my dad wrestle and practice, and once upon a time I was a wrestling dummy, and now I get to do it. So I'm really proud of myself for how far I've come and how much heart I put into this sport. And I started in March again, and I actually ended up going to a state tournament with about 4 practices in. So you can imagine just how that went. It was a great experience though, I'm not gonna lie. It was awesome to get the mat time. It was awesome to meet so many new people. Honestly, thank you to my mom for putting up with me through that and pushing me to always be my best. And I'm proud of how far I've come in girls wrestling, and I'm very, very excited to wrestle for Harlan Community this year.
Thank you. You started your own little company, and it is called Prairie Rose Wellness Animals. Can you talk about that, please?
So, this is actually a very complicated subject, so I'm going to kind of tone it down a little bit. But me and my mom started our little small business called Prairie Rose Animal Wellness. This is where we actually perform PEMF, which very complicated, I know, but it's actually where it's kind of like a bunch of tubes that go over an animal, and it sends oxygen into the animal's cells, and it pulls out all the toxins. So it helps blood flow, flexibility. It has so many benefits I can't even start to list them. My mom is certified in PEMF, and I have been lucky enough to be able to be along her side through this journey and started doing my own animals. And I thank my mom for teaching me all about it, because it's truly been a great experience to learn how to run a small business, learn how to talk with customers, learn how to work with animals. And I go to work with horses, cows, dogs, goats, sheep, all of it, and that is my favorite thing.
Thank you. Tell me why you want to be fair queen.
So I'm not going to lie to you guys, I was probably sitting up here thinking about it a lot. And this is a question, I constantly run through my head, why am I up here? And I think that for me, it's the community, to be completely honest. I mean, that kind of sounds a little basic, but to me, like the fair theme, it's rooted in tradition and building our future. And I think that is a huge thing for me, is I'm proud to be where I am today, and I think a lot of it is me wanting to make that older generations proud, and me also be a great example for the younger generations. And I want to show them that, I am the type of person that always likes to say, you lead by actions, not by words. And I truly want to show that younger generation just what they are, what they can accomplish.
Thank you very much, Emily. Emily Addison, sorry. Emily Scheckinger. Emily is the daughter of Chad and Amberly Scheckinger. She represents Harlan FFA. She attends Harlan Community High School. She is out for cross country, jazz band, and FFA. And she's going to talk a little bit about jazz band.
Yeah, so just like all the other girls, some of the other girls, I graduated this spring, and I was involved in cross country, which I don't know if anyone knows or sees us around town, but we run from June to basically October, and then it overlaps with jazz band, which actually starts, that's pretty much year-round. You're always practicing and getting better. And not many people know, but our jazz band is pretty well known at the state level. I and my teammates, which there's a couple of them standing in the back, not listening, but we are 3-time state runner-ups to the same band, which was a very heartbreaking experience. But jazz band is so cool. I mean, never would have, if you would have told me freshman year that I still would have been standing here and graduated playing 3 different instruments, I would have told you you were crazy. There was no way I was continuing in high school. But I have met so many people, and thankfully one of my band directors told me that I couldn't quit, which was a very good lesson to hear. But I mean, there's so many people that I've connected with through jazz band that you never even would have known that they had a musical connection. I even talked to my pastor a little bit, which I had no idea he was involved with music. And if there's one thing to say about my pastor is that he can preach, and he's preaching Sunday morning here, so it's going to be a good service.
Thank you. And you show cattle. You've watched your brothers do this. You want to talk about that a little bit?
So over towards the left, we have 8 pins between this year, and nobody really knows too much about them, but they start in December. They're weighed in December, and you just grow them, you feed them every day. I walk out and I'm in the pen usually with them most days, and there's so much time and effort that goes into all of these projects that you see. But yeah, this is my family's 15th year, I think, showing Pen 3. So there are so many lessons that I have learned through this experience. One thing, growing up with 3 brothers, I have learned is that I'm not quite as strong as them. So I have to learn how to problem solve through everything that goes on daily. You kind of have to problem solve, okay, they do it this way, let's see how I can do it so I can be involved.
Her mom and dad were looking for her over.
Yeah, the Pen 3 is an awesome experience, and the Cattlemen's just started a new project this year where they're handing out money for the best
When I see her, I'll help her.
ultrasound, which is taking an image of the insides and looking at the different marbling, the amount of fat in the meat. And it's an awesome new experience that got a lot more showers, so we're excited to see all the competition this year.
Your mom and dad were looking for you.
Tell us why you want to be Fair Queen.
So growing up, I always came to this contest just to watch, and seeing all the pretty girls up here and all their awesome dresses. I had a cousin compete in this competition, and it was really cool to see all the different experiences. And then riding in the parade, I threw candy, which, sorry if I hit anyone, I had different sizes of candy. But just seeing everybody and all of the young women and just everyone who comes out and the community that supports, it's awesome to see it in a different perspective and compete in this contest and try to be as good of a candidate as I can be.
Thank you so much. Next, we have Lauren Winger, daughter of Dan and Laura Winger from Panama. She represents the Northwest Leaders. She has attended Harlan Community High. She was out for band, cross country, and track. And she loves to run cross country, so I think we're going to talk about that.
Like she said, my name is Lauren Winger, and I have been running cross country and track since 7th grade, and I have learned so many things on mental push and so many other things, and I've gotten to meet so many cool people through track and cross country, and now I have a cousin running cross country, and it's just so cool to see how she puts her mental push through my mental push and all of the people that I have met, because they make, down here at Harlan Community, we make our cross country team like a family. And I'm going to miss them so much as I continue my cross country career at Peru State College.
Thank you. I sat with her grandmother at a track meet, wrapped in blankets, and it was rather chilly, but we were there to watch our girls run, and they did a great job. And so, anyway, so Lauren, tell us why you would like to be the Fair Queen.
Like all 3 of them said, just going through the parade and watching all the younger ones like look up to us and see that we are up here and putting on a show for them and having them be looking up to us. And I had all three of my older sisters be up here. And so it's just an honor to also be up here for the third time.
Thank you so much, Lauren. Please give a hand to all these lovely ladies. I told them since I only had 4, they had to talk a whole lot more than they normally did. And they've done an amazing job. Thank you, girls. So, all right. I opened the first runner. You get my card. And the first runner-up is Brooklyn Buff. The queen for the 155th fair is Addison Obrecht. You want to say anything, Kathy?
So I want to thank you all. Sorry, I'm crying, but this truly does mean a lot to me. I'm proud to stand here and make my parents proud and make the older generation proud and show the young ones that, you know, they're capable of anything and they can go as far as they want to go. And I kind of talked a lot, but my parents always say that I got my mouth from my grandpa. I can talk somebody's ear off. I can stand there and talk for days, and I truly do think that's true. And I'm so grateful, and I know that he's looking down on me, and he's so proud to see me. He's standing here today, and I truly have never been so proud to hold such a trait as my grandpa. So I just want to say thank you to everybody who has pushed me to be the person I am today, and thank you for crowning me your queen.
Thank you so much. I want to thank all of you for coming out tonight. It's been a pleasure, a lot of fun, and I hope you have a great time the rest of the days at the 155th Shelby County Fair. Thank you so much.